Good morning, ma'am. I'm wishing a very warm welcome to our viewers. I'm part of the Placement and Higher Education Cell of Thakur Ramnarayan College of Law, and I would like to invite ma'am to our first podcast of Lex Talks. And our topic for today is misuse of trademarks, fake products, and counterfeiting. Ma'am, first of all, I would like to ask you why IPR law?
Thank you so much, Shubham, for having me here. So, I started my career in 2015. I was not from Mumbai. I came to Mumbai for better opportunities. I was searching for a job and I liked reading. So, that time I read about trademarks and IPR. And I was lucky enough that I got an opportunity with Jahangir Gulabhai Bilmura Daruwala. It's a law firm based in Mumbai. It's one of the oldest law firm practicing IPR. They have their sole practice in IPR. I joined them. In 2016, I joined as an article clerk to them. 2019, I left the firm because I wanted to give my solicitor's exam. Finally completed my solicitors and I joined my husband's firm, that is MB Jain and Partners. And now, yes, we are today wholly and solely in IPR.
That's a very interesting story, ma'am. Ma'am, when we talk about trademark, what is its implication on our daily basis?
Yeah. So today's India, when we see, everything is about brand. If you are wearing some clothes, if you are carrying a bag, if you are even writing with a pen, even if you are using a sewing machine's small pin, that is of a brand. Brand gives you an assurance that it has followed all the quality checks, and that is the reason brand is important. The implication is that it gives a customer assurance that I am purchasing a good quality product. That is one implication. Second, that it has its own recognition. As I like, if you go to a market and if you see one branded product and one unbranded product, obviously a customer will be more inclined to purchase a branded product because there he can observe and he can do more research that whether this brand has doing properly all things or not, whether they are following all the compliance or not. So that is the reason a brand is very important.
So when we talk about trademark, is it necessary that one should get it registered? Like, if there is counterfeiting, what are its implications on the society as a whole? Not only from the legal point of view, but from the point of the society as a whole.
100% I believe that a person should register a trademark. The only thing, see, the law talks about both infringement and passing off. Even if a brand is not registered, the person who's using the brand since whatever years has acquired a reputation, and you can file a passing off action against the infringer or against the person who's making counterfeit product. But if you have a registered brand, that's an absolute evidence before the court that see, I am a registered owner and this is the certificate is the sole evidence that I have acquired registration. I am using this brand and then I want a remedy. And we have beautiful remedies in trademarks. We have, if a brand is infringed, there are civil remedy, there's a criminal remedy. In civil remedy, you get an ex parte injunction. You get an order for search and seizure. So which you can get only if your brand is registered. If your brand is not registered, it is very difficult because then you will have to establish a case, you have to send a notice to the other side, bring him to court, argue it out, and then it's a lengthy process. So once it is registered, the process becomes little short.
You mentioned counterfeit products. What do you mean by this term?
Okay. So counterfeit is basically anyone who has come as close as possible to a brand, well-known brand or any brand. So for example, if you see market is filled with counterfeiting products. If I have to give you an example, like Puma, we have seen. So Puma ka Poma is there, Pumi is there. So there are a lot of products which the counterfeit products are basically those who have copied some of the brands or some of the important aspect of a registered brand. It is not necessary that a person will copy only the brand name. The person will change the brand name but will copy the label, the artistic work. So the only purpose I believe for a counterfeit brand is to come and to enjoy on the reputation of a branded product.
Can you provide us with few examples,
Yeah.
the products we use in our day-to-day life, electronics, food products, any products, and its implications?
Yeah, so if I have to give the case laws, where we have helped our clients, there was a very interesting case of Vivani. So Vivani is a very famous brand for clothing. They have their shop in Dadar. It was in Mumbai only, and just 1 kilometer in 1 kilometer radius, there was another person who started with a brand Vivani for clothing. Now the confusion was not only about the brand name, but even with the post office. That if suppose any letters are coming, any products are coming, any courier is coming, so they were going to the counterfeit one, not to the original one. And it was because in the 1 kilometer, the people were like, are you a branch? Are you a franchisee? So that implication that, okay, it's a license holder of the original Vivani, or it's a new franchisee of Vivani. And that is the reason, and our Vivani was registered. So we got an order, we conducted a raid with the help of the court receiver, and eventually the matter was settled. And what my client wanted is immediate injunction.
Not from the legal aspect or any litigation purposes. Me as a consumer or as a member of the society, should I be scared of such counterfeit products?
100%. And it is not when the products are of the like clothing or bags are concerned, but if the products are of pharmaceutical, if the products which you are consuming, and if suppose by mistake, if you intake any type of product which was not branded and which has not followed the quality checks, so there can be a death life situation. So that is the reason branded products are important and unbranded products should be avoided by the consumer.
And but all these counterfeited products are much cheaper. So can you address that angle?
Okay. So honestly, it is on you that whether your life is important or your money is important. So if suppose if you are going for a pharmaceutical product, there are generic medicines available. Why don't you purchase generic medicine? You purchase a branded product medicine because you have a trust on that particular brand, and because doctor advise you that brand, you are aware that okay, the doctor is advising, the doctor is also aware of the quality. So that time it is on you whether you want to choose life or money.
You mentioned especially in India there are a lot of such fake products.
Yeah.
So what India or what the legislature is doing to tackle such situations?
See, legislature, I believe they have already completed their role by having the act. Now it is the registered brand owner. It is the duty is cast upon him. If he is the registered brand owner, he is aware that somebody is copying the brand. He should take the action. He should take that person before the court and get the remedy. How the legislature will interfere with that?
And what role can the society play? Because the legislature has done its job. Now the duty is upon us to be cautious, to be aware. So what role can we play?
See, I understand for a plaintiff or for a person who is a registered brand owner, it is very difficult for him to identify where the infringing products are being sold. As a society, we are living in a social media world. You can just make a video, you can post something, you can tag that brand. So you can make the original brand owner aware that see, your brand is being copied somewhere. And because of that information, the brand owner can at least take action. You are helping him to take action so that whatever infringement is happening, it will be at a lesser amount.
Ma'am, in your career, you have practiced in this field since a very long time. Have there been any interesting cases which you can share?
There are bundles of. So in one of cases where I was representing the defendant, so it was against Ultratech cement. So my client was smart. Honestly, when you have an injunction, when you have an injunction order, the court says that you have to follow the order. There are consequences if you don't follow. Sadly, my client, because it was a 2019 order, the matter was still pending till 2021. He thought that the injunction order was passed in 2019. I can still use the brand. He used the brand. The consequences, the plaintiff moved in contempt. His factory was seized. 200 employees were outside the factory, and it was seized for a month, and he was making per day profit. So these are the consequences, and that is the reason you should be aware that if an order is passed, you have to follow that order. You cannot ignore that order. There are bundles of cases. Every day there is a new case, new task.
You mentioned, ma'am, every day there is new case, new task. The law has been implemented. The owners are doing the job. The society is being aware, but still there is some loophole because of which still these problems arise every day. What are those loopholes?
See, I'm not with you that there are loopholes. There are people who will be there always, who want to earn out of the goodwill of some other person. It's an easy job. Suppose if there's a famous brand, and if you copy that brand, and if you introduce, you get sales, you get money. So I don't think that it is an ending process. It is a never ending process. There will be infringer, and this particular field will go growing and growing. You won't believe, till 2017, there were hardly 25 lakh trademark application. After 2017, today we are on 75 lakh trademark application. People are becoming aware, they are filing trademark application, they are registering themselves. So I believe now India is moving towards registration and becoming more aware of IPR and trademarks.
You mentioned the number of trademarks applications have risen. So what the companies can do to protect their goodwill, their reputation, their market?
So as I said, it has to be first use a brand or adopt a brand which is invented. You cannot adopt a brand which is common to trade or very generic. So first and foremost is like invent a brand name and then register the same. Until you not register, I'm telling you, it will be a very difficult job to prove that in the court. Third is, please keep a watch. Keep a watch in the market. Hire investigators. There are investigators who will help you in identifying that if your brand is being infringed. And as soon as you are aware, you have to take an action. The court also says that the remedy is given who is vigilant.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you're vigilant, suppose if I get to know today, and when we draft claim, we have to explain to the court that we got to know today, and within this short duration, because there is an emergency, urgency, I am filing this case. So you have to be very vigilant, very fast in taking action.
Finally, ma'am, you as a legal advisor, what message can you give to our viewers who can be the entrepreneurs, businessmen, or even the consumers? What message do you have for them?
The only message is that please first choose a good brand, register the same, have a good lawyer, because the market is filled with people who are not even lawyers but will register your brand name for what, 500,000 rupees, but they don't know the consequences. I have seen matters wherein a reply was filed in tribunal which was a total wrong reply, and the implication was when the matter went to the court, because in the tribunal I mentioned, or the attorney mentioned, that the cited marks are not similar, and when I want to take action against a similar brand, that will be used as an estoppel against me. Yeah. So my message is that hire good people who will help you properly and register your brand and take action. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much, Shubham,
for spending time with us and sharing such valuable knowledges to me and to everyone who's watching us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you guys for your views. I, Shubham Badkar, member of Placement and Higher Education Cell of Thakur Ramnarayan College of Law, assure you that we will keep on bringing such interesting podcasts, and we are looking forward for your views. Thank you. Signing off.